Today, we are going to be tackling a very big problem for we the ladies, for everybody basically. We are going to be talking about why you go shopping and you go home with clothes that are the wrong size, that are the wrong fit. It has become a massive problem. Sometimes you go home, you end up stashing the clothes that you're meant to be rocking away till when it fits or when you lose some weight before you get to rock them. That shouldn't be. Let us talk about the tips and tricks, the things you can do in the fitting room while you're out shopping so you can eliminate that problem. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new here. My name is Eva. My channel is on fashion. How are you? How have you been? Let me know in the comment section. Shopping is fun. I like me some shopping, but then it can be a hassle if you don't know what to do. But why else you got me? I am here for you. Let us get down to business. The first thing you want to do is to know your dimensions. Take your measuring tape, measure yourself. You can have a friend help you out, or you can go to a professional, you can go to a tailor and have them take your measurements. Know your dimensions. This happens in the modeling world. Before you get in, they ask for your dimensions so that they know if you are thick enough or you're slim enough for whatever they are looking for. So it is imperative that you know your dimensions. And by this, I mean your bust size, your waist size, and your hip size. You can also check for your shoulders too. That is very important. And your full length. You need to know these things so that when you see size charts, you can compare, and then you know the sizing that is going to give you a close fit or your feet exactly. So it is very important that you know your dimensions. And when you are taking your dimensions yourself or your measurements yourself, do not manipulate the results. Don't suck in your stomach and take your waist measurement and say that is your waist measurement. It is not. You are going to end up with clothes that are tight fitting in that area. So just be yourself. I am going to show us how to take measurements on my mannequin today. And also it is important that when you're taking your measurements, you should have 2 fingers inside your tape so that, for ease. The next thing that you want to do is to educate yourself on the size charts of your favorite brands. Some brands, they favor skimpy clothes. Some do more of maxi. Some are tall girl friendly. Some are petite friendly. So it is important that you familiarize yourself with the sizing charts of some of your favorite brands. And also, if you know your dimensions, it comes in handy here. You can take your dimensions, place them side by side with the size charts. You compare, the size, the best size for you, the best fit for you, or the size, whether to size up or to size down. They are going to indicate whether they're in inches or in centimeters so that you know what you're doing. This next tip is very important. So if you have put the first and the second thing I told you in place, you have measured yourself, you know your dimensions, you have familiarized yourself with the size charts of some brands that you enjoy shopping from. When you are out and about shopping, I want you to ignore any size tag you see on any piece of outfit. Ignore it. It doesn't matter what they have on there. It doesn't matter if it says size 6, size 10 or whatever, and you know that you're a size 10 from your dimensions. Ignore it. Now, what some brands do is they reduce their sizing so as to attempt to appeal to your emotions. Ladies like being trim and all of that, and there's nothing wrong with being trim, and there is nothing absolutely wrong with being thick either. Even if they use the number letter system that you see extra large, or you see small, you see medium, you see large, ignore them. I will give you a test. If you buy an outfit in the size medium from 2 different brands, I assure you that those 2 pieces of clothing are going to fit you differently, because each brand have how they do their things, have their own measurements that they use. You are going to wear them in the fitting room so that you'll be sure of what you're going home with. So you have to wear them, see for yourself that they are hugging in the right places, that they are the right length, and everything that you want it to be. Also, I want to let you know that the number letter system, it has no standard. That X you see, S, medium, large, they have no standard. So the dimensions are going to vary. So again, you should see for yourself. Seeing is believing. Get in there, wear it, be sure of what you're spending on. Trying them on is where all the exercises that I have for us today comes in. I think it's the most important of all these tips, because even if you don't know your dimensions and you don't understand sizing charts of brands, and you pick a cloth that you think that looks like is going to size you, and you get in there in the fitting room, you wear it. Even if you don't know all of these things, you can see for yourself right there, right then, that this is not my size. You can decide to go a size higher or a size lower, or just ditch the clothes entirely. So you are in the fitting room, you know, you are trying out the clothes. Here are some of the few exercises that you should do to make sure that what you're buying is correct. The number one thing that I want you to consider is the biggest part of your body. If you're buying a skirt, of course, the biggest part of your bottom half is your hip. And if you're buying a top, the biggest part of your upper half should be either your bust or your waistline. Whatever the biggest part of your body is, that is what you should consider first. You would want to have that checked out before you can start worrying about the other smaller parts, because it won't make sense that the smaller parts fit and the biggest part of your body are outside of your clothes. That is not going to look flattering at all. For example, if you have a shirt on, if you're buying a shirt, make sure you check for your bust. Make sure the buttonhole and the lapel, they are not gaping. Make sure that your busts are inside neatly. Of course, if it fits the biggest part, it's going to fit every other part. When you are shopping for shirts, you can do a fit check by having 2 fingers inside your collar. That is the room that you need to be able to breathe, or just for ease. If you cannot fit 2 fingers inside the collar of your shirt, then that neckline is too tight and it can be very discomforting. So make sure you have that checked out first. And also for your hip line, make sure your clothing or the skirt or the pants is not too tight, so much so that it is giving stiff when you're walking. You are not free to express yourself and shake your bum and just be, you know what I'm talking about. So make sure you have that checked out as well before you move over to the thighs, because your quadriceps are another important part of pants. When you're buying your pants, make sure that there is enough room in the thigh area. It is not too tight, cutting off your blood flow. That is not very stylish, as you're going to look uncomfortable. It is not good for you. It's not good for your health. So whatever you're buying, whatever you are spending your money on, make sure it's going to, in turn, bring you comfort. So I'm going to show us a few of the exercises that you can do. First of all, once you have your feet on, what you want to do is cross your hands in a V shape in front of you. I want you to do this. What you're checking for is that there is enough room in the back for movement. Sometimes, if you noticed, you have your clothes on and you're reaching for something. You are straining because there is not enough room behind you to give you that freedom that you need. And also, the next thing you would do is have your hands out like this. This is to check for bust space if you're a lady, if you have a bust. And also for the guys, for your chest line, to make sure that the shirt or the top can accommodate your chest, you know, for space right there, because you need space in the bust area. We don't want anything squashing them. Also, you check your armpits. Make sure you have space to move your arms. You need to be able to move your arm. And also check that the shoulder seam is sitting on the shoulders. Of course, there are dropping shoulders. Unless that's the style, there are raglan sleeves that do not have a shoulder seam. That is very okay. But if whatever you're putting on has a shoulder seam, make sure the shoulder seam is sitting on the shoulders. And also for the hemline check, what I want you to do is to hold on to your sleeves like this and raise your hands. When you raise your hands, make sure the hemline is okay for you, because sometimes you have something on and you're reaching for the countertop, you're trying to get something from somewhere above and your midriff is outside. That is not very flattering. You bring your hand down and you're always tugging. You tuck in and they will not stay tucked in because the hemline is too short. So that can pose as a problem. So you are still in the fitting room and you are checking for pants. There are usually seats or chairs inside the fitting room. Sit down on them, use them. Check that there is enough room for your butt. Check that when you actually sit in the pants, it is not gaping, though the waistline is still lapped to your waist, and someone cannot look into your privates. So you want to also strike that out. And the last but not the least thing that you can do is ask for help. Very simple. Some of these stores have attendants. Some of us go shopping with our friends. You can even go shopping with this video. It is very okay. You can ask for help and be like, oh, how does this look on me? How do I look in this? But the most important thing is how you feel in them. So be sure that you're comfortable. Be sure it is the right length, the right fit, the right amount of stretch, the right amount of body hugging. So be sure to strike all of that out before you can invest in them. You want to put all of that in place so you go home with clothes that you are satisfied with and not clothes that you are like, oh, I've done it again. I am going to need to hit the gym before I can wear this, or I am going to need to put on weight in some places to be able to wear this, or you just give them out. That is not very frugal. So yeah, I think that is all the tips I have for us today. If you found this helpful, please leave me a thumbs up. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to see more on topics like this. And also, thank you for stopping by. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you. I see you. If you're new here, you're welcome. Thank you also for checking in. And yeah, do leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing, and you can comment if you've had these problems in the past and how you were able to tackle it, or your most helpful tip that you are taking home from this video. Thank you so much for stopping by. Do have a good day. Bye.